Hello and welcome to this episode of the Fine View. Yesterday, Sunday the 9th of April, I was at Tannadice for the Scottish Cinch Premiership game between Dundee United and Hibernian. I made that mistake in the video. Just for clarification, it was Dundee United at home to Hibernian Football Club. Getting into the game, Dundee United were rock bottom. Hibernian were 6th. Get into the game. Dundee United knew that they had to win to have any chance of beating the drop. After their nearest relegation rivals, St Johnstone took a win yesterday on Saturday. I beg your pardon. And Kilmarnock lost at Aberdeen. St Johnstone lost 2-0 at home to Ross County. It just came into it. So heading into the game, Dundee United knew that they needed a win. Looking at some of the Dundee United pages prior to kick-off, the day prior, I'll speak more about the Dundee United forums in a minute because I need to clear a few things up. The fans, some were optimists, some were like, yeah, we can win this. And to be fair, I kind of thought, yeah, they could do it. That's why I thought I'll go along to that game. The match itself was a decent game. I noted down the match minutes and match incidents. But before I do all that, I need to clear a couple of things up with the Dundee United fans. Again, I've not really wrote things down because then it wouldn't be authentic if I'd done so. I'm not a Dundee United fan. I'm not a Dundee fan. I'm not a St Johnstone fan. I'm not a Kilmarnock fan. Prior to the game, as you'll see in some of my pre-match videos, I was down at the entranceway at Tannadice. I met the Sky Sports crew, Chris Boyd, James McFadden, and former Dundee United manager Jack Ross. I then put them on my social media and I then spread them in the Dundee United group. There were one or two people that did not appreciate that. They were thinking that I'm a Dundee fan, a Kilmarnock fan, St Johnstone fan. No. You can probably tell behind me I've had this wallpaper since I was a kid. I've just never got round to redecorating now that I'm a 31-year-old man. A couple of months' time I'll be 32 and you're thinking, oh, he's allowing himself to room. Yeah, it was decorated when I was a kid and I've just not got round to it. To be honest, I don't think I could part with it. I know some parts are looking worse for wear. I accept that. But because I've had it for such a long time, I don't like change. I kind of get a bit frustrated with change. So yeah, and I can't really slight the Dundee United fans. Because most interaction I've had with the Dundee United fans in the last 3 or 4 days has been really good. There's a woman, her name's Jill. Jill was very open and because I asked about match programmes. Because when I was down in England about a month ago to see Wycombe Wanderers versus Barnsley, there was no match programme, which kind of stuffed me up for doing my match reports. And then when last Saturday I was at St Johnstone versus Aberdeen, St Johnstone had match programmes, and I was a bit curious if Dundee United had programmes, and Joe was very open, telling me, yeah, I'm at this corner between this time and that time. And so I thought, well, because Jill was very friendly and saying that, and I actually waited there to give Jill my £3.50. Now, I know it went to Dundee United, regardless of whether I bought it in the shop or once I entered the turnstiles and George Fox, because that's where I was seated, the George Fox law. And that for me was, it's mainly part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. To see hopefully a good game, whoever I go and visit. I'd like to think that the majority of fans will be accepting of someone that is not a fan of them, a fan of theirs, and to do some sort of journalism. I'm not into antagonise. I'm definitely not into antagonise. I understand that there are these groups that are certain fans only, because if truth be told, and I told my friend this, Kenny was trying to get me into some groups, and I was like, no, I understand. As a Celtic fan, I understand, because I'm in some groups where it's Celtic fans only. I wouldn't mind someone that isn't a fan that comes into the Celtic groups if there's a legit reason, i.e. they want to do something like me, or they're travelling to a game or thinking of travelling to a game and they want to get tips on where to go, blah blah blah. I don't mind that. But I'm not in any Dundee United page to antagonise. I'm not going to go full horde and post all things Dundee like Fabio Caballero and Nacho Novo, and I'm not going to do any of that. One thing I did pick up on, and it was, to be fair, it was a good question. One of the Dundee United fans asked me in the Dundee United page, why would a Celtic fan want a photo with Chris Boyd? That's a legit question to ask. The reason being, they're doing a job that I wish I could be doing. I'm not an ex-footballer. Only thing that goes in my favour is that when I was in school, I got an English standard grade. I feel that it could be open to people such as myself who's got autism. If you watch videos of me, you'll understand. If you look out for it, you'll understand that I've got autism. Whether it's stuttering, making mistakes that I shouldn't be making, like in one of the videos yesterday, when I was reading the lineouts on my Facebook page, I said that I mentioned that it was Dundee United versus Aberdeen, when in actual fact it was Dundee United versus Hibernian. I had a little brain freeze. I wasn't thinking, and I said the wrong club. I think when I read the actual team out, I think I said Hibernian. But when I was reading out the details, like Saturday, the 9th of April, Scottish Premiership, Dundee United versus Aberdeen, it was actually meant to be Hibernian. But I wanted to use this to thank the Dundee United fans who have been respectful. They've wished me well. They've told me to enjoy the game. One fan even said, enjoy the game, I'm stuck in with COVID. That was my phone there, I do apologise. So, for the most part, United fans have been friendly, respectful. That's including Jill. There was another fan on there that, again, I was getting some pelters, which I kind of put me back a bit. But then I thought, well, maybe they've not read my previous comments. And one fan said that the OP is up here to do journalism. He's posted elsewhere in that group. I think his name was David. I'd have to check my phone. I've not checked it. I think it was David. I think he had 3 names. I think one of them was David. So if that was you and your name is David, thank you for having my back there. I didn't see it at the time because I was too busy reading other comments on Facebook. And at that time, I think it was at that time that I was going back and forth because not long after I got the photos with James McFadden and Chris Boyd, I didn't think there was much there. I walked back round to the George Fox stand, which is some walk. I had quite a lot of cramp last night. So I'd literally walked round to the George Fox stand. Then I was looking at the time going, well, 20 minutes, or half an hour, the match programmes will be out. And I was I was on the street. I'd have to look at my phone. Is it Sandaman Street, Arkley Street? I'm not known to that area, so if I've mispronounced the names, please forgive me. One thing that I will say, and I actually found this very amusing, but by the way, and if anyone wants to Google, they can, because it's legit. I'll even help you with that destination. After I got off at Seagate, I had to walk to some sort of museum to get the 18 bus to Tannadice. And I noticed on, I think it was a church, there's a street name called Panmure Street. And if truth be told, I'm about a 15-minute walk from Panmure Street here in Glasgow. Same spelling. It's at Firhill, Partick Thistle Football Club. It's the other end of the road. You've got like a small canal between Panmure Street and Firhill. So I took a photo of that because I was amused. I know it's a street name and all that, but when it's a street name that you're familiar with, because it's a street name that you live not far from in your hometown or city, you do find it amusing. So when I left Tannadice, waiting for because I didn't know if it was the same bus going to the same place, because I don't know the buses in and around Dundee. I was asking people, does this bus go to Panmure Street? And they went, yeah, it just goes just a little past beyond that, maybe 500 metres past that. Then it's just, you've got to retrack where you came from Seagate. So this is part one being wrapped up. Shortly, I'll upload part two, and I'll be speaking about the match itself. Thank you for watching The Fine View.